All right, shalom, shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. I'm going to start off this lesson by giving all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh.
Yahweh, Basham, Yahushai, Hashem Chakodash.
All right, double honors to the apostles, elders of Great Millstone, all right, who have taught us this word in truth and sincerity, and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000 that's pushing this word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth, as well as the rest of you hopeful elect out there that sincerely believe. Peace and mercy to you and your household. Okay, and this lesson in this class, this lesson is going to be another edition of News and Prophecy. I didn't really have a particular topic because there's just so much stuff going on. So, you know, the Spirit just told me brace for impact. Simple as that. And yeah, man, the times that we're in, man, so many things are happening. So many things are happening. So I'm going to start off with got 3 articles and 2 videos I'm going to pull out. And we're going to link these things, these events to prophecy. Okay, so Slack, give me one moment here. All right, so this is here from headline or edtimeheadlines.org. And as you see here, it says thousands of migrants could be released en masse onto the streets in days, causing chaos in the southern border communities. Okay, and you know, if you're keeping up with this migrant situation, it's basically just getting out of control. It's getting out of hand, and you know, it's gonna turn into mass chaos and civil unrest in America and in Canada, man. All right, and eventually that's gonna play out through the whole earth. Okay. So let me just read a little bit of this here. It says here, thousands of migrants could be released en masse onto the streets in days, causing chaos in southern borders communities as support funding dries up, says officials. Yeah, because a lot of these migrants are being funded and being taken care of, right? But eventually that money is going to dry up. It says local governments and nonprofits in the region have long worked with the U.S. border officials to take migrants to sites such as Casa Atlantis and Catholic Run Shelter for migrant families in Tucson, Arizona, or the Regional Center or Border Health in Yuma. The Federal Emergency Management Agency, so FEMA, disburse funds from the shelter and service program to entitles providing shelter, food, transportation, and support to people who have been processed and released from custody while awaiting the outcome of immigration proceedings. But the federal funding will run out on March 31st. So basically what's going to happen is all these migrants that are receiving all this support, they're receiving shelter, food, transportation, are going to be basically left without those things. And guess where they're going to go to grab those things? The everyday civilian, American civilian. They're going to go and plunder houses, right, for food, for shelter. That's what scriptures say. Now let me skip down here.
Yeah.
And let me skip down here just to the end here. It says, I think that's going to lead to a lot of chaos and a lot more costs across the board for folks to get services, as many of the people coming through leave fairly quickly here. Pina Lopez told the Arizona Republic. I'm a country administrator. Jan Les said the country cannot afford the roughly 1 million per week that previously would have been covered by federal funds to keep migrants off the streets in border communities. So basically, once that money runs out, these migrants are going to be loose on the streets. Okay, a lot of them are being kicked out of shelters too because they got like a 60-day. You can only stay in the shelter for about 60 days or something like that, right? Before you get kicked out. So you basically got a lot of different migrants roaming the streets, man, and they're going to do what they have to do to get what they need to get. They have families, they have kids, you know, and that's going to cause that's going to fuel civil unrest. I'm going to bounce to this other article from the same endtimeheadlines.org, and this is concerning the bridge, right? While all that's happening, you know, the bridge collapsed, right? It says a bridge collapse will spark food and car supply issues, right? And it says the horror bridge collapse in Maryland result in widespread distribution to trade. Americans are set to avoid a return to supply chains chaos seen during the COVID-19 crisis. Experts have said shipping has been suspended at the port of Baltimore after a cargo vessel bound for Asia crashed into the Francis Scott Key Bridge early Tuesday morning. Hold on, a brother here I think just joined. Shalom, okay. Where was I here? Yeah, so it says 6 people are feared missing in freezing waters, while the impact of the collision sent cars plunging into the waterway. Trade experts have warned that widespread distribution is expected as city chiefs scramble to clear debris and open shipping lanes before attempting to rebuild the bridge. They also claim there will be calls to cut dependencies on imports. The automobile and agricultural sectors will most likely be impacted. Okay. Tingalong Dial, a business expert on Johns Hopkins University, warned there could be up to 7 months of distribution. Right? So who knows? We're about 3 months into 2024, man. So 7 months of distribution problems can cause a lot of havoc and chaos, man. Okay. And at the same time, you have migrants that are going to be released on the streets, right? And there's going to be a shortage of food with that too, right?
Another point is that area of Baltimore is very under policed. All right, because of all the the protests about defund the police and all the situations there. So that place is actually pretty much set up for lawlessness.
Right. Yeah, I think they said don't call the police between 3 a.m. and 7 a.m. For any emergency whatsoever.
Yeah, you're pretty much on. And if there's an emergency, you might be on hold.
Con. All right. If brothers got precepts, let me know.
I got one right now because the condition of the elect in this time that is approaching, and it's brewing, and it was just mentioned there by Officer One. Simply put, man, there's a lot of madness going on, and it's going to spread. And so the condition that the elect will be in, I've got Romans 13 and 12. Okay, if you could just go there, just read that real quick because, all right, 13, 12 and 13, just for the point, right down to 14, and that's it. The condition that the elect will be in, and leading up to that as well. Those conditions.
It's loading up a little bit. Give it a second here.
And we're in a time of Slakia, Good Friday, I believe, right?
Right.
And that's on the left hand side that demands blood sacrifice. When you go into the occult, and we're also in the month of March and the equinox and the Pesach, so there's a lot of things going on.
Right. Yeah, it's true. Well, I'm gonna switch the internet over to my phone because these gremlins are fucking with it already. This never happens.
I seen Apostle Ramlab's live today. The blue letter wasn't working. He was trying to log, trying to go on, and it wasn't working.
Oh wow!
Oh, you see? Look at that.
Yeah, Satan's
working. The site can't be reached. Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah. Couldn't find out horseradish, brothers. It was rough.
What's the precept? I can read it real quick. What's the precept?
Yeah. Romans 13 from the 12th verse to the 14th verse. Right. It's a beautiful chapter, as we know it, the condition of the elect. We've been encouraged in regards to this time. Yep.
Okay, so this is Romans chapter 13, verse 12. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light.
Right. So just a second. Yeah. So the topic is going into brace yourselves. That's why I brought that out, because that's the condition that the elect is in. Right. And when you go pull up that word brace, it has to do with strap on. And we know that we're strapping on to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. He has actually strapped us on. Anyway, continue. Go
okay,
ahead.
verse 13, it says, let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envying, but put ye on the Lord, Hamashiach Yahushai, and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof.
Yeah, so I brought that out, simply put, in that time when this boils up to that period, and even right now, the elect is going to be on great conduct in spirit and in truth. We're not going to do what they're doing. We're not going to, if there's an opportunity to do something dishonest in the side of the system, you better not do it, because it says there, okay, simply put. I mean, that's for you folks at home, right, to understand that. So it's a command, right? And the spirit of the Lord will put on the elect. That armor of light, okay?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the point.
So, yeah, that's a good point, man. This is like, as we see all these things happening, man, we have to brace ourselves, get more into spirit, tighten up and everything else, man, because even the scriptures say that the righteous shall be scarcely saved in these times. And it's just the beginning, right? So it's going to get even more evil and evil and evil and evil. Right?
Love of many shall wax cold.
That's right. The love of many shall wax cold. That's right, man. Okay, so concerning the bridge, we know that bridge is going to disrupt a lot of food and car supplies issues. Now I got this other article here real quick. This one's concerning what happened in Moscow, right? And all these things, man, right after the Passover, right? So that's spiritual, man. Or as we're in the Passover, the Feast of Unleavened Bread. So it says France has just raised its terror alert warning to the highest level. And it says the French government is raising its terror alert warning to its highest level following the shootings on Moscow, Prime Minister said on Sunday after a meeting with senior security and defense officials with President Emmanuel Macron. And I gotta say this too, man. With all these things happening, the scripture said we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. We know Esau's MO, right? His MO is to bring in the CHIP, but he has to create and devise all this disorder and chaos. So there's a need for his MOTB system, man. Okay, and ultimately it's prophecy that's going to be playing out, right? But there's a bigger agenda behind all this. People are going to be caught in the midst of what's happening instead of what's actually coming down the pipe. Even though the prophets have been prophesying about the CHIP and World War III, right, and the returning of our Lord Yahushai with the hosts of heaven, because all this is going to lead up to all of that, man, which is all part of Jacob's trouble.
Can I preach a prayer, brother?
Yeah, come.
Is it Proverbs 16? And I think it was 4.
And in that city, remember, that city is a port city. So like you're saying, it's going to affect a lot of trade and money. And it's interesting. The apostles went live yesterday and they were mentioning Capernaum. And Capernaum is a buzzword for America today. And that was a seaport city as well. So when you deal with seaport cities, man, that brings a lot of import, obviously, and export. So if that's going to interrupt trade and all that, so.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Proverbs 16 and 4.
Yeah. Come.
So this is Proverbs 16:4. It says, "The Lord Yahweh has made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil."
Right. So I brought it up because you're speaking of what's happening in Russia, and basically it's we know it's the Edomites are behind anything that's wicked and evil, but at the top of it all is the Lord. He's the puppet master. He's in control of everything that's happened in the earth. The scripture says a sparrow doesn't fall without him sanctioning it. So even though we're here saying, Esau, or, some people on the fence, not knowing what happened, we're giving praise to the Lord, man, because this has to happen. It was prophesied. The last days, going to be a lot of turmoil, perilous times, hard to deal with. Right? We just got to swing his spirit and realize that Yahweh has got this. Right? Can't bug out. Right?
That's right.
So,
Exactly.
As Mark said, we're going to strap on Yahushua, right? Like, make sure you're in that spirit and the spirit of prophecy. Right?
That's right.
And as watchmen, we're going to be above everybody else, right? We're going to be looking out. We're not at eye level to this because what? We're using our spiritual lenses, right?
That's right.
This is why we're here making videos, calm, cool, and collected, right?
That's right, man. That's right. Beautiful. So it says here, Atul said in a post on X that the decision, which comes months before Paris' host of Olympic Games, was taken in light of Islamic State's claiming responsibility for the Moscow attack and the threats weighing on our country. And it's funny because ISIS came out and said that, but when you go into the acronyms of ISIS, I'm pretty sure it's Israeli Intelligence Secret Services, right? So, small hats, the bankers, right? They get their order from Satan, but Satan gets his order from the Most High, like the brother said. And so ultimately, it's the Most High who's in control of this. And for the believers, the true believers, our faith should be boosted by these events playing out, because all this shows is that we're getting closer and closer to the kingdom of heaven. Yahweh wraps up the whole full elect.
Yep. What you're seeing now is Esau pretty much losing control, so he has to create a bunch of distractions and, like you're saying, chaos, and try to bring in his order. And that's why it says in numerous scriptures there shall be confusion in many places, great confusion in many places. Right? So that's why, like you're saying, we got to have our spiritual lenses and understand what's really going on, because you have Project Bluebeam in the works as well. You have them, they just started the CERN program. So these guys are really, they're ready. You know what I mean? They're ready, man.
Yeah.
You best believe right now they're doing their seances, their blood sacrifices.
Yeah, man. It says France's terror alert system has 3 levels, and the highest level is activated in wake of the attack in France or abroad, or when a threat of one is considered to be imminent. Right? It says it allows for exceptional security measures such as sped up patrols by armed forces in public places. So, don't be surprised when you start seeing these militants, man, these armed forces, right? Will look way more souped up than your average police officer. Okay, because all martial law is also a part of the scriptures. All right. And it says places like train stations, airports, and religious sites, right? And you think we're gonna, in those times, that's also all this is all gonna happen. And then you also got famine of the word, right? They banned certain speaking points concerning the Bible in, like, I think 17 states in America already. So everything is coming together, man. Everything is coming together in the spirit. And again, like the title says, man, brace for impact. We got to be in the spirit. You got to be in the spirit, man.
And I mention this. You mentioned ISIS. That was an ancient god. They didn't just name it for no reason. They changed Twitter. They changed Twitter to X, which is for Ra. Right. Which they do that X thing with their hand, and that's pretty much Baal. So that's Satan. So we're in a completely dark world, man.
Right. Wow. I got a quick.
Are you sick of having issues?
Quickly before I go there, I can read it because the theme right now just twisted right back to who Satan on earth, okay, and how he's influenced, right? So and it came out that he, right? So I'm going to go to Matthew 4:10, right? Matthew 4:10, and point is in the verse. It says, right, and this was during Yahushua's temptation, okay, and simply put, he was prophesying here, okay, as well. It says, then said Yahushua unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy power, and him only shalt thou serve. So yes, everything that this man does, the counterpart here on earth, okay, he has to go through the order. Okay, so he worships the Lord on the left-hand side, and then it says in the verse 11, then the devil leaveth him, right, which is deceiver, and behold, angels came and ministered unto him. So yes, definitely, and that's the way it's going to be with the elect, those who are led of the Spirit, okay, in this time. I just wanted to mention that. That's it.
So I'm gonna play this clip here, and it says, "Food crisis in America. Farmers are now finished." Okay, so I'm gonna speed it up a little bit too.
So guys, John here. This video has received almost 400,000 views in 4 hours about what is unfolding right now with farmers. And this is unfolding specifically in Oregon. But when you look nationwide, you can see things very clearly. Did you know 4 companies now control 70% of the industry entirely? And these farms are being sold off to these very companies, these very large corporations that are gathering more and more of a monopoly on our food supply.
Of 1% of American agricultural land per USDA data.
Here, let me slow it down.
Along with China's land grabs, Microsoft founder Bill Gates is the largest private owner of American farmland.
Large foreign entities continue to move in, and small mom and pop farmers are getting pushed out by strict regulations. I'm going to show you this video. And I'm going to show you what's going on behind the scenes to help you and position you for what I think is going to be more of an expensive world, a different type of world, a world which we all need to get ready for. Please hit the like button, People share this.com. That's great report. Go to greatconnectfast.com.
Right now, the state of
just below this video, schedule free starting session for tomorrow. Take a look at this.
Right now, the state of Oregon is shutting down small family farms in mass under the guise of water conservation. Oregon lawmakers are rewording their laws to effectively treat small local farms the same as like a large farming operation on a commercial scale. And let me tell you the scariest part, because I've talked about this on my page before. The way they are finding these farms is they are using satellite imagery to pinpoint your farm and send you a cease and desist letter and insisting that you stop all production. Their government has also set up a hotline so that your neighbors can call and rat on you for watering the vegetables and fruits that you're going to go sell at the farmer's market next weekend. Now,
absolutely shocking. So this situation, how 4 big companies control the U.S. beef industry. 4 companies slaughtered about 85% of U.S. grain, fat, and cattle that are made into steaks, beef, roast, and other cuts of meat for consumers. This is in 2018, according to most recent data from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. When factoring in other cows used to make hamburger meat, the companies comprise about 70% of total U.S. beef production, according to North American Meat Institute. So 70%. This is data from 2018. Imagine how much more market share they've acquired over the last several years. It's a lot, right? It's a really, really big problem. In this scenario, as Oregon proposes new groundwater rules, some agriculture groups push back. And what they are saying is Oregon is one of many Western states.
Now I got to get this up too, because she had mentioned how now you can basically, if you're growing your own stuff and watering your own food, you can get ratted on, basically. And that's heavy, because that's during now. So how much more when the social credit system comes into play, right? Where now your social credit is based upon who you associate with, who you identify as being a rebel to the government, to the state, and basically what you're going to see is people, families, and loved ones are going to turn on each other in an instant. All right, and that's prophecy too. So let me get this Mark 13, and I'll start at 12, and this is in the red letter. So this is Yahushua's words. And it says, Mark 13:12, now the brother shall betray the brother to death, and the father the son, and the children shall rise up against their parents and shall cause them to be put to death, right? Concerning the consequences for basically rebelling, or rebelling against the state, against Esau-Edom's system. And they shall be hated of all men for mine, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved, right? So, you know, hey, we don't know what's coming down the pipe. You know, obviously you have your family, you have your loved ones, and you hope they're of the hopeful elect, but you don't know what the Lord has in store. So you have to prepare your mind to be betrayed by anybody, you see? And the point is that even though you're betrayed by anybody, you have to endure that, because the ultimate example is Yahushua. He was betrayed. He was betrayed by Judas Iscariot, but he was also betrayed by Peter. You see, Peter repented, but he was betrayed by Peter. Peter denied him. And that was prophecy. Right? That was for prophecy's sake. So again, the point is if you're not in the spirit, you can be taken by these things. Right? So the point is to stay in the spirit. Stay in the spirit. As you see these events play out, we have to stay in the spirit and pray more, you know, fast, do whatever you got to do to be increased in the spirit by Yahweh Shem El Shai.
With rapid groundwater depletion. In some parts of the state, overpumped groundwater aquifers are resulting in dry wells, affecting residential and commercial sectors and irrigated farming operations. They now want to do this. As officials began holding a series of meetings across Oregon, some environmentalists and water conservations are praising the proposed changes, while other groups are pushing back. And they want to determine when the water is available to support new wells. So they'll tell you if you're allowed to, you know, water your land, if you're not allowed to water it. And think about that. What is a farm worth if you can't water their land? It's worth almost nothing, right? It's a big problem. Oregon specifically is a major producer of cattle, grapes, corn, hay, milk, you know, beans, cranberries, melons, blueberries, pears, right? So you start to see this situation advancing. We're going to walk into a whole new type of food industry, one in which we've never before seen. We're walking to the fourth industrial revolution.
Yeah, they're telling you that you can eat bugs, you know, all kinds of different things, man. That's why, hey, you're going to have to completely rely on Yahweh Shem El Shai, because, you know, this is the devil. You know, you can't. Once all this, you know, breaks out and we're in this kind of system, you know, you're gonna have to rely on the Most High to feed you. You see, and that's the kind of faith it's gonna take. Right now, we're still able to go to the grocery stores and buy certain things and buy certain foods and stay away from certain foods. But when all hell breaks loose and this man, incorporates his system, his NWO, you're gonna have to rely on the Most High, and you're gonna see a lot of men and a lot of women are gonna deter from the faith. Right, because of that.
I just want to add, if I may, because this guy, he used the term the fourth industrial revolution. That's just simply going into you being connected to the World Wide Web, and it's going into things becoming more automated, like AI and machinery being not maintained by human beings. That's really what he's going into. So it's talking about advanced manufacturing technology. Right, so transforming the global business for years to come. That's what he's talking about. So that's why a lot of these people, they're losing their jobs right now. That's why you're seeing something called deindustrialization in the manufacturing sector, like these warehouses, these factories. They don't need you little everyday people anymore, right? So that's why you said earlier there's going to be a social credit system. Headed by Klaus Schwab, the World Economic Forum, saying you will own nothing and be happy. So that's what this guy's talking about. So it's serious.
Yeah, man.
So
Yeah, good point. Actually, I gotta get this precept too. Talking about these devils coveting fields, right? And I think he had mentioned that. Yeah, that's the spirit. Yep. I think Bill Gates has enough. Yeah, Bill Gates has a. Yeah, I will. Bill Gates has just as much as land ownership in America as the Chinese, as a whole country. All right. So what's all that about? Right. He's had. What does a tech nerd have to do with agricultural agricultural industry
or medicine?
Or medicine. Yeah. So Micah 2 and 1. I'm gonna actually get it in the NLT here.
Yeah,
so what do you think? What do you think he's going to be giving you people in terms of food? You think you're going to be eating real food? Absolutely not. We're not even eating real food now. So how much more when they have control of these lands and how things get produced and everything. So this is Micah 2:1. It says, listen, you priest, this command is for you. Listen to me. Oh, okay, it's not here. Micah. So Micah 2:1, it says here, judgment against wealthy oppressors. So your technocrats all the way up to your bankers. It says Micah 2:1 in NLT, what sorrow awaits you who lie awake at night thinking of evil plans? You rise at dawn and hurry to carry them out simply because you have the power to do so. Right? The Lord has given them that power. When you read Job 9:24, the world is given to the hand of the wicked.
Hey, that's why you have a thing called the witch's hour. Right? You have a witch's hour, which what do you think they're doing? You know?
Right. It says when you want a piece of land, you find a way to seize it. When you want someone's house, you take it by fraud and violence. You cheat a man of his property, stealing his family inheritance. Right? And a lot of these farmers have had these lands passed down to them from foreparents. You see? And that's why you see all these farmers, in an uproar, towards the government in terms of, taxes that they're putting upon them with their land. Now they're saying that if you in Oregon, right, which is, as the guy brought out, it's a huge producer of many different vegetables and fruits. If you're found watering your land, you can be ratted on, and and there's consequences to that. It says, but this is what the Lord Yahweh says: I will reward you, or reward your evil with evil. You won't be able to pull your neck out of the noise. Noose.
Yeah.
It's like it. You won't be able to pull your neck out of the noose. You will no longer walk around properly, for it will be a terrible time. In that day, your enemies will make fun of you by singing the song of your despair about you. We are finished, completely ruined. Yahweh has confiscated our land, taking it from us. Yeah, because really, when you read 2nd Ezra 6 and around the 54th verse, the world really belongs to the Israelites. Okay, starting with the whole full elect. It says, he has given our fields to those who betrayed us. Right, and these enemies too, because like the guy said, like 30%, or I think 30% of America is owned by Moabites, man. Okay, so let me go.
I'll just say this. Oh, Salakia, go ahead.
Oh, Salakia, but I'll just say, because when you go into the King James, in the first verse that you just read from, it says devise iniquity, which that word devise is really going into a plan, because this was all planned from the very beginning, like hundreds of years ago, and we're seeing that plan manifest right now in this time. Just go back a couple years, going into the whole C-19, right? That was a plan to really set up this system and to bring forth the infrastructure for the MOTB, right? And that's why this man here is talking about a food crisis, talking about the 4th Industrial Revolution. So this was a plan, and it was set up in stages, and it was done in intervals, right? So that scriptures never lies, man. Devise iniquity on his bed. This guy was thinking about this for years upon years and years, and he was getting dreams and visions through them demons, man. This is serious.
Yeah, man. Yep.
And what does he bring? Unrighteous decrees behind the scenes by way of his laws. That's what he uses to bring about all what we're seeing here. Everything is unrighteous decrees. That's scripture. Just wanted to say that. Yeah.
Let me get this real quick. This is 2nd Ezra 15, and I'll start at 14 and read down to 19. It says, woe to the world and to them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. right? Migrants are gonna be these migrants are gonna be left out to the streets, and it's crazy, man, because even here you have high level of car theft, you know, in Ontario, like crazy amount of car theft, right? And then in America you have all these migrants that are about to be released because the fund is going to be stopped on March 31st, right? And then about 2 weeks later you got the solar eclipse. So hey, man, things are going to pop off. People are going to, who knows if you got 1 million people are going to be gathering in Niagara, right? We don't know what all that's about. Who knows what's going to happen there, you know? But something's going to, you got a lot of things that are brewing that can pop off that's going to cause people to start invading one another. You know, the elder quoted earlier, the love of many shall wax cold. So people are just not going to get, you think people don't give a shit about you now? Yo, when all hell breaks loose and there's a shortage of access towards food and primary needs for living, then you're really going to see the spirit of men and women. They're going to be really, and the Lord said He's created spirits for vengeance. Right? And some of these migrants are crazy, man. They're crazy. I saw a video of a migrant.
They're all crazy.
In the middle of the street. Yeah, I saw a video of a migrant cooking a cat in the middle of the street, and this is some American civilian was cursing him out, and then he was like threatening her, like, I'm gonna kill you if you try to stop me from eating this cat, kind of thing. You know, so these people, hey man, I mean, many spirits on these people. It says, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings and their princes. And the course of their actions will stand in their own power. Okay. And a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil.
That's what he's saying. So that movie is a farce. That movie, Leave the World Behind, because it wasn't based on prophecy. It wasn't based on Bible scripture. It was based on someone how they perceive it to be, that you're gonna be all neighborly, you know, in that time. In that time, you rightfully said, like, you know, what the Bible said, a man would have no regards for his neighbor. Right? So the guy who used to mow your lawn, you know, when you're feeling, you got a tummy ache, that's gonna be the man kicking your windows, man, and taking what you got.
Yeah.
And this is what's in the Bible. This is one of the reasons why they removed the Apocrypha and say it's not canon. Right? But Yahushua quoted from the Apocrypha, which makes it valid.
That's right.
Okay. So these are the scriptures should be brought forth in your church, you know, your pastors for hire. Right? This is the news people should be listening to, but guess what? They disregard it. You know, they put their fingers on their nose, you know, and basically tell the Most High that, like, you know, get it stepping.
You got Israelites that don't teach us.
Yep.
You know, you got these bitch ass IUIC, you know, and they, one of those guys, they said the Jacob's Troubles doctrine is gay. You know?
Wow.
So those guys are in a total you know, they're completely bugged out, man.
Completely bugged out.
Ultimate psychos.
They're in a state of confusion, man.
That's right.
Wow.
Can I get a quick precept for you, brother? I'll read this. Let's see where you at. It's Proverbs 17, verse 28, and it reads, 27, 28. He that has knowledge spareth his words. Right. So that's why this is a very solemn meeting. It's for the brothers. Like, only brothers in the know or the truth is going to subscribe to this doctrine, and might get a few views, but it's okay. You know, we're not here for the masses. Okay, we're here for each other. You know, there's a saying in the world: iron sharpens iron. Okay, but the most I like us on the gold, precious metals, right? So even a fool, he that has knowledge spread his words, and the man of understanding is of an excellent spirit. That's why you know we're bugging out. Like, you know, when we watch these things on different media platforms, you know, we're like, hey, like the masses, we're praising Yahweh Shai because we know it's a token.
That's right.
So that we're almost there. Okay, verse 28.
Right.
Even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise, and he that shutteth his lips is esteemed as a man of understanding. So that's what we're doing, man. We're talking to each other, but basically we're shutting our lips as it pertains to like what's happening in the world. Like we ain't telling people what we think's happening. We say, hey, it happened. Oh yeah, shit, wow, look at that.
Yeah, man. You know how many people, how many clients I have talking to me about this Baltimore thing and everything. I'm like, yeah, man, that's crazy. Oh my goodness.
You're not bucket your pocket for it said 16, right?
Yeah.
Let me get a quick precept. You don't have to grab it. This is just going in on the point that the brother Gabar made a good point about their plans, right? How they planned. They pretty much planned the three world wars way before, right? But they also planned all these different things. So this is Psalms 36, verse 1 in the NLT, and it says, "Sin whispers to the wicked deep within their hearts. They have no fear of the Most High at all. In their blind conceit, they cannot see how wicked they really are. Everything they say is crooked and deceitful. They refuse to act wisely or do good." And this is the point, verse 4. "They lie awake at night, hatching sinful plots. Their actions are never good. They make no attempt to turn from evil." Right? So, yeah, it's just going into these guys. They don't just, plan 10 years ahead or 50 years ahead. These guys have centuries of planning, and it gets passed down to the people who are worthy, and that's going into, there's a domino effect of chaos where, meaning, you have these slip and fall guys like P. Diddy and then these scapegoats. They'll okay, it's time. Okay, knock this guy down, knock this person out. And people are standing there like, am I next? That's why this bitch ass nigga Tyrese, he's defending Diddy. I was watching him. He's like, well, you can't really talk bad about people. And, I know I'm not standing for abuse. And because he doesn't know if he's next. These guys, but you got people that are even more above that. They're the ones that's really orchestrating it, and they'll have guys that they'll go through who are fall guys, and they think the fall guys think they're good, but they have their time. And then you have the real guys who are, okay, you have the real plan, and here's what's going to happen. So it's deep, man. Esau does things very deeply.
Con.
And they're saying that as it pertains to Prophcey, they're saying they're not searching for things to incriminate him, for things that he might have to incriminate other people.
Right, and that's why all these guys are getting pulled in, eh? Yeah, man. Wow. 2024, man. It's a beautiful time.
Like in Game of Thrones, the guy said chaos is a ladder.
yeah, con. I'll just finish up this verse.
I have a quick precept for Elder Jeremiah's point. I'll just
finish this verse up real quick, and then you brothers can get your precept. Verse 19 says, "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods." Because of, and that's already happened right now. You got, in Ontario, what did they tell you? They told you leave your keys in your front door, right? And then I think it was whatever his name said, that you might as well leave milk and cookies too.
Yeah, Doug Ford.
Yeah, Doug Ford, right?
Which that's a game too. When you mention like the theft card, that's a game that these guys play anyway. Red and blue, right? Liberals and conservatives, to spread fear and then try to have people switch to the conservatives, and then 10 years later people switch to the liberals, and that's the whole thing. Because remember, it's election soon, right? So these guys are doing these crimes because they know they're pretty much going in and then they're coming right out, because they don't have even money or the capacity to keep these guys in these jails.
Right.
Go ahead.
Look at that guy on the gun charges. He's there 3 times.
Yep.
Selling guns. Now I put $50,000 reward for it, but it's his 3rd bail.
Yep.
The same thing.
Wow. And spoiled their goods because of lack of bread for great tribulation. That's right. Go ahead, Kabar. And the Kabar guy, you can get yours after Kabar. Go ahead.
All right, so I got 2 precepts. One going into Elder Jeremiah's point about the device, right, and the plan, right? So this is 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And you know, that word device is really going into an evil intent or an evil purpose. And you know, a lot of people out here, they're very ignorant. They're not in the know of what's really going on and what's happening. They like people, you know, they really understand. They understand to a certain degree that there's a change coming, but they don't understand what type of change and if it's for the greater good or not. Right? They're not really thinking about the Lord coming back and taking this place down. They're just thinking about them getting benefits or getting more money, or you know, probably getting a better phone or a better car in the future, or their rent going down. That's what they're really thinking about.
Yeah, their own flesh. You know,
that's right.
So the next one, just going into the point that was made about you know, the elected officials. You briefly touched on that. But and also the migrant crisis. This is the same thing that took place in Rome during the 3rd century, because you had the Goths, which is a Germanic people that were a major they played a major role in taking the Roman Empire down. Right. The same thing that you're seeing President Joe Biden do is the exact same thing that the Roman Empire did back in the ancient world, in terms of giving these migrants funds, because the Goths, they actually migrated into Rome, fleeing the Huns when they were fighting, right? So the Caesar of that time, he gave them funding, he gave them money, and guess what? That drained their resources. That drained their resources, and it caused the Roman Empire to fall even more and to go into decay.
That was the Western, I believe, or the Eastern.
Western.
The Western. Right? Because the Western fell, and then you only had the Eastern, Constantinople, and those ones, Byzantine. That's right. Yep.
So the next precept is Revelation chapter 13 and 11, going into the Roman Empire, just to bring it out. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. So that beast, obviously, you know, going into the Roman Empire, and then, you know, the 2 horns like a lamb is going into the plebeians and the patricians, which are the 2 parties that they had back then, which is what America has today, Democrats and Republicans. And those are the people that are talking on the behalf of the people. But they're making all these wrong decisions and destroying the country, and the country's now going down in decay even more, which we know in the spirit, going back to 2 Corinthians 2 and 11, that's all a plan too, because they're set up, they're controlled opposition, right? So that is the same way America is made. It's just like ancient Rome.
That's right.
Verse 12, it says, and he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. Right? Brothers could take over and talk about that yourselves too, right? You know.
Now go into it.
No, I'm just saying, there's going into that game, right? So that's why when politicians, right, they'll have like a man of the people, and he's the new guy coming up, and he's making all these promises. That's the big thing, right? They make promises, right, that they say they're going to keep, right? Promises that the people are asking for, and then they might do two of those things, and then pretty much everything else they get paid. They get they have lobbyists, you know, and then you have even higher people, of course, and the lobbyists, and they push their real agenda, and they sign bills that you don't even hear about. You know, so it's just one big game from the same beast, but they try to swivel because they know people, right? They know, okay, some people are more liberal and more conservative, but we got to try to play the middle and try to. It's the same thing with the Hegelian dialect,
right?
You know, or order out of chaos, same shit.
Yeah, Khan. Wait, hold on. Kabarga has some.
Yeah, just real quick, Khan. Going to the brothers are going into basically the plans and schemes of Esau, Edom. You know, they're actually being made manifest nowadays quicker than before. You know, when you look into it, going back to how, you know, when they came up with the 9/11, you know, that people didn't believe, you know, that was orchestrated. It took time. Nowadays, whenever these things happen, people actually catch up quicker to it. You know, even the whole thing with the C-19, you know, C-19, people caught up to it quick. So basically, these man's plans and his schemes, they're being revealed, you know, quicker as the days goes by. You know, the Most is actually making this man bear.
That's right.
And which is mostly due from the internet, right?
Yeah.
That's why the devil said it should have never been created.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Even today, like I think it was yesterday, like the whole thing that happened over there in Baltimore, the bridge, you know, like people that already like decoding like, the whole thing, you know, like as it happened, you know, it's like
yeah.
Revealed, like you know, as it happens, you know.
Yeah.
So I'll grab in the pocket for Sirach 42 verse 18.
42 and 18.
Yeah, to 20. Those three verses.
Yeah. You want me to read it for you?
Yeah, Khan, please.
Okay. So Sirach 42 and 18, also known as Ecclesiasticus, reads here, he seeketh out the deepest and the heart, the deep and the heart, and considereth their crafty devices.
And the heart is talking about your mind, right? Like you know, like you basically like Esau's like plans, you know. And they're talking about like the wicked of Esau, Edom, the elites, right?
Yep. For the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai knoweth all that may be known, and he beholdeth the signs of the world.
Yep.
He declareth, and you know what? This I gotta say this Salem, not Salem. This solar eclipse is a huge sign too, because I think 7 years ago it came across 7 states saying Salem, right? And now it's going to come across 7 states saying Nineveh, and in the middle of the X is a place called Rapture, or something like that, right? So
Little Egypt, I think it is.
Yeah. Oh, Little Egypt. Yeah. Something like that. You know, and I think one of the brothers brought this out. That boat is the Holly or the Holly Dolly.
Yeah,
Dolly. Right, and in Swahili, one of the brothers brought out in Swahili that means the end.
Yeah,
and there's another language. I put in a group chat. I forget from what language, but it means demon or God, or demon or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So verse 19 it says, "He declareth the things that are past, and for to come."
And who's doing that? The Lord Yahweh Shemashai is doing that to his prophets, to his men, beginning with the apostles and the elders of Graham Woodstone. You know, we're telling you what happened. You know, we're telling you what's happening and what's happening as it is, and basically telling Esau, Edom, like his plans before it does him. You know, telling him about, you know, like his coming, his so-called NWO, he's a charagma. Okay, telling him like, you know, basically like how the Lord is going to come and destroy his whole plans. And as we speak, and this thing are being made manifest as we speak, you know.
Come. And it says, and to come and revealeth the steps of the hidden things. Right, which reminds me of Amos 3 and 7. And it says, verse 20, no thought escapeth him, neither any word is hidden from him.
Yeah,
Khan. You want to read to verse 21, right? Or that's it?
Yeah, that was it, yeah, Khan.
Okay, Khan. Okay, Kazak, you say you had something?
It was based on brother was talking about plebeians and Democrats and Republican. So basically the voting different presidents, you know, and then they're all the same, right? Because you know they're all on the left hand side of the Lord, you know, they're to deceive, right?
Right.
So we're going into the law as it pertains to us, how we should you know, move when it comes to voting, right? So you know, so Deuteronomy 17, I'm sorry, 14. And then we're going to go to Sirach real quick.
So Deuteronomy 17 and 14. So Deuteronomy 17 and 14. Okay, and read 15 too? Okay, so it says, when thou art come onto the land which the Lord Yahweh thy power giveth thee.
So you've heard them say that the migrants that are here, right? Depending on who allows it, that's who they're going to be voting for. Right? You always hear that the reason why they're doing it because they want the migrants to vote and give them free things and then vote and give them in, which we know voting doesn't do anything. Right? So it's a farce in itself. All right. Reading.
And shall dwell therein, and shall say, I will set a king over me, like as all the nations that are about me.
So if you come into, once you're in the truth, right, and you're privy to this knowledge, right, the Most High has deemed you liable to retain this, you would know better. So there's nothing wrong wanting to have a better life, because this place is advertised as being a place of milk and honey, which we know it's not, right? So as bad as things are here, it's worse where they're coming from, which is why they're coming in droves.
Right.
Okay. It's not as good as the one time, but it's still better.
Right.
Okay. Keep reading.
And that's heavy. That's heavy because you're right. Where they're coming from is worse than what's happening here. But at the end of it all, what happens in America is going to be worse than everywhere else. It's like the Lord is saving the best for last kind of thing.
That's right.
Verse 15, it says, "Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee."
So it doesn't matter what the reason is, he's giving you handouts, giving you a home, all your kids can eat. What doesn't matter what it is, you don't make him your king. Yahweh is our king, man. And we don't see like if an Edomite's helping you out, don't see the Edomite. It doesn't stop there. It said the Lord is causing this Edomite to be good to me, right? The Bible said when a man's ways please the Lord, right? He make his enemies like basically pleasing to him as well. Paraphrasing.
Yeah, to be at peace with him.
Con.
Yeah.
Right. And the peace might come by way of him showing you mercy, right? Him showing you kindness, right? But just see it as a Lord that's doing it. Okay? Reading.
Whom the Lord Yahweh thy power shall choose, one from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee.
And that one is Yahushua. Okay? That's the king we want to be ruling in righteousness. And we have King David here on earth, right? But our king is Yahushua, and then King David.
Right.
Okay? That's, and that time we know it's going to be in righteousness, being all truth, and with all sincerity.
Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother.
And those are commands, right? Those are commands. And your brother is somebody in the truth. A man is in the truth.
In the NLT, if you read NLT, it says Israelite.
Oh, look at that.
There you go.
Yeah, look. If you go on NLT.
Yeah, con.
And then Sirach 17, Babakasha.
Yeah, con.
Just read that part, because it'll just clearly tell you.
Con. It says, it's Deuteronomy 17 and 15. If this happens, be sure to select a king that select as king the man the Lord Yahweh power chooses. You must appoint a fellow Israelite. He may not be a foreigner. Wow. That's funny.
Yeah,
and,
that's
how many yeah, man, how many Jakes are saying, voted, are wanting Trump?
Hey man, hold on. Ashar sent me a video of these fucking dumb spics, man. They made a commercial for Trump, right? In Spanish, dancing, doing merengue, Yeah.
Sirach 17.
Yeah,
17.
Cut. Sirach 17 and 17, it says, for in the delusion of the nations of the whole earth. Division. For in the division of the nations of the whole earth, he set a ruler over every people, but Israel is the Lord's portion.
That's right. Right. So that rhymes with what was read just now in NLT. Okay. Israelite is what we should look for as in rulership. And who's more of an Israelite than Yahushua? He's the firstborn of all creation, man.
That's right. That's right, man. And so I'm gonna play this last clip concerning the MOTB and the CBDC system is getting ready to be played out. Because as well, these Edomites, He's wicked elite. Yeah, Schwalmert. I got this guy from him.
He's so no
Patrick.
good.
Yeah, bro. Esau, man. They really they go in, man. This guy, look at his long beard and everything. He's a patriot.
Hey, the children of this world, right, are wiser than the children of light in their generation. Right?
Khan. And this guy's diligent, man. He do 3 videos a day, 4 videos a day, 2 videos a day. But yeah, so this is concerning. It says, warning, just announced you have a few months to prepare. So go ahead.
This is big breaking emergency news. They have now announced this tracking and tracing system of our cash and of our money. They have now officially announced the central banking digital currency. This has now been announced at a federal level and also at a global level for the global international banking transfer system. They were to the central in the next 12 to 24 months. That is what mainstream news is now reporting. Now
it could be sooner, right? It could be sooner than that, because all they need is a black swan event, a huge black swan event to to enforce this system. So it could be sooner than that.
I see a CBDC in the next 12 to 24 months. All right, so you need to be getting ready. That's going to mean the end of cash, shut down all the alternative systems, and you're going to have to use the CBDC very soon. That's what is being announced in mainstream news, and they're saying we only have 12 to 24 months left. All right, so let's get into the news here. Let's get into the details, the articles here really quick. Please hit it up for me down there. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. I'm posting multiple times a day, keeping you guys updated on.
Hey, is it freezing on your like?
Yeah, it's
on
cutting.
your brother's
It's cutting a
screens?
bit.
Is it freezing?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Okay. Con. So let me just, I guess, slow it down. I guess. Let me know if he's
on
doing
this
that
big
now.
urgent news. All right, but check this out. This was just announced today by SWIFT. So if you don't know what SWIFT is, this is the international monetary movement of funds between banks. They clear the movement of funds between international banks in and out of the country. It's all done through SWIFT. So you can see here.
Still cutting?
No, it's good. Better.
Okay, beautiful.
It says SWIFT is planning to launch new central bank digital currency platform in 12 to 24 months, right? And this is serious because the US has already announced that they are working on these central banking digital currencies, but they can't announce it until they can't officially roll it out until they can move money around and interact with other banks' cryptocurrencies, right? Trade and convert with other central banking digital currencies, like a UK one or a European Union one, which have already been announced. They need an international system so they can trade with, right? And it's now being announced that this system will be in play in 12 to 24 months. All right, it says the global bank messaging network SWIFT is planning a new platform in the next 1 to 2 years to connect the wave of central bank digital currencies now in development to the existing finance system. It has told Reuters. It says the move, which would be one of the most significant yet from the nascent CBDC ecosystem, given SWIFT's key role in global banking, is likely to be fine-tuned to when the first major ones are launched. All right, so you heard that? So it says, I know that was a lot of jargon, but the release of this SWIFT system is being fine-tuned to when the first major CBDCs are launched. So they're saying when the CBDCs are launched, this SWIFT system is going online at the same time. So this is happening very soon, guys. You need to get ready. And this is the end of our financial privacy and freedom completely. The government.
And 50-minute cities will come and play with that, because all going to be, social credit system, all of it's going to come and play with that. And again, starting with the apostles of Great Millstone, they always push that the MOTB, pursuing to the prophecy of Revelation, the 13th chapter, has to be pushed before the World War III, the destruction of America, happens. Okay, that's the hour of temptation, is where you have to pick which God you'll serve, Esau or Yahweh Shem El Shai. And Esau really is under Yahweh Shem El Shai. So, will
have complete access to all transaction and trading systems, because There is actually a public ledger. Every cryptocurrency, even Bitcoin, has a public ledger of all transactions. All transactions are actually public, but it's just done through a quote address, or it's like a IP address essentially. Okay. And that's anonymous, but the government knows your address. They know the IP address. They know the wallet address. All right. They know who owns it because you're interacting with your bank account. You're interacting with these exchanges, buying coins, selling all this stuff. They know exactly who owns it.
And we got to remember in 2 Thessalonians, it talks about how this devil, his desire is to be like the Most High, you know, to be God. So basically, he wants to be able to trace everything, your thoughts. He wants to be able to input thoughts in your mind, you know, as he already does today, right? There's certain things you watch, you know, and then you can't, you know, when people say I can't get this song out of my head, you know what I mean? Things like this. But he wants to take it to another level and actually be able to control your thought like the Most High. So he has a God complex. This is what, you know, the brother Kabar brought out earlier about 2 Corinthians, the 2nd chapter, 2 Corinthians, the 10th chapter, 11th verse, that we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. And the word device went into desire, right? A plot. His ultimate plot is to be like the Most High. Okay.
I have a precept.
Khan.
Psalms 21, verse 9 to 11. 9 through 11. NLT.
Oh, okay. Good to go.
All right. Psalms 21, verse 9, NLT. You will throw them in a flaming furnace when you appear. The Lord Yahweh will consume them in his anger. Fire will devour them. You will wipe their children from the face of the earth. They will never have descendants. Although they plot against you, their evil schemes will never succeed. Right? And that's just going into their devices. You know, they've been planning these things, their schemes, their plots for hundreds of years. You know, they've been praying to these left hand spirits, these demons. They've been praying to Satan. Satan's been deceiving them, telling them do this, do that. You know, it will work. You know, but they're in the biggest trip bag. You know, in the KJV it says a fiery oven.
Yeah, man, beautiful.
Oh, what's that scripture in Malachi 4, right? Yeah. About the day cometh that shall burn as an oven. You don't have to get it, but that's backing up. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna play this whole video, but if you guys want to go watch it for yourselves, you know, Patrick Humphrey. But I just want to get the main point about, you know, the CBD system is being rolled out, right? And you don't hear about this in mainstream, you know, news, of course, right? So my last precept here before we close up is Ezekiel 7, and I'm actually gonna get this in the King James. And in NLT it says a coming end, but it says punishment for wickedness foretold. Moreover, the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, also the Son of Man, thus saith the Lord Yahweh power unto the land of Israel, an end. The end is come upon the four corners of the land. Now is the end come upon thee, hence why it's called Jacob's trouble, and I will send my anger upon thee, and will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense upon thee all thy abominations. And my eye shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense thy way upon thee, and thy abominations shall be in the midst of thee, and ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh power, and evil, and only evil, behold, is come. So you think it's bad now, the Most High is saying only evil, and more evil is going to come. Okay, and an end is come. The end is come. It watches for thee. Behold, it is come. The morning is come unto thee. O thou that dwelleth in the land, the time is come, the day of trouble is near, and not the sounding again of the mountains, right? In the NLT, that same verse, it says, so I can pull it up here. It says, O people of Israel, the day of your destruction is dawning. The time, and that's really for 2/3 of Israel, the time has come. The day of trouble is near. Shouts of anguish will be heard on the mountains, not shouts of joy. Okay. Now I will shortly pour out my fury upon thee and accomplish my anger upon thee, and I will judge thee according to thy ways and will recompense thee for all thy abominations. And my eye shall not spare, neither will I have pity. I will recompense thee according to thy ways and thy abominations that are in the midst of thee, and ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh that smiteth. So, hey, that's heavy, man, to think about, because the judgments that the Lord are bringing is gonna allow Israel, and that's because of the prophets. The Most High put the Spirit on the prophets to be speaking the truth before it happened, to prophesy. So when all hell breaks loose, a lot of Israelites are gonna come to the conclusion that this has to be who the prophets we're talking about. You know, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai bringing this judgment. Behold the day. Behold the day. Behold, it is come. The morning is gone forth, and the rod has blossomed. Pride has bud. Violence is rised up into a rod of wickedness. None of them shall remain, nor of their multitude, nor of any of theirs. Neither shall there be wailing for them.
Mm-hmm.
You see? So, yeah, man, this day, the Lord basically is going to have, this is a time of grace and mercy. This is a time to find mercy, all right, from Yahweh Shema Shai. But when the prophets, the Most High takes the prophets off the highways and takes them off the internet from teaching this word, the Lord's not going to be giving out mercy in that time to those who call upon him.
Right.
Okay. This is the time to get it, man.
Right.
That's why the Lord said he stretched forth his hand all the day long. That's part of his mercy. Is,
Right.
you know, you stretch forth your hand, that's mercy. That's, you know, the voice piece is of the Most High is the prophets. You know?
Khan. That's right. Last 3 verses, it says, the time has come, the day draws near. Let not the buyer rejoice, nor the seller mourn, for wrath is upon all the multitude thereof. For the seller shall not return to that which is sold. So you're not going to return to your business, to your, you know, whatever you got going on for you in this world. A lot of you Israelites are making merchandise of this truth.
Yeah.
Although they were yet alive, for the vision is touching the whole multitude thereof, which shall not return, neither shall any strengthen himself in the iniquity of his life. They have blown the trumpet even to make all ready, but none goeth to the battle. So a lot of, you know, and a lot of Israelites are willingly ignorant. The trumpet is being blown, right, by the prophets through the word, and a lot of Israelites are not making themselves ready for this spiritual battle, because it's a spiritual battle. For my wrath is upon all the multitude thereof. All right. In the NLT, real quick, it says 11, verse 11. The violence has grown into a rod that will beat them for their wickedness. None of these proud and wicked people will survive. All their wealth and prestige will be swept away. Yes, the time has come. The day is here. Buyers should not rejoice over bargaining, nor sellers grieve over losses. For all of them will fall under my terrible anger. Even if the merchants survive, they will never return to their business. For what Yahweh has said applies to everyone. It will not change. It will not be changed. Not one person whose life is twisted by sin will ever recover. Damn.
And that's a stumbling block.
Go ahead,
And that's a snare for Jake. You know, Jake's consuming. I gotta get this bag. I gotta get this money. You know what I mean? I gotta grind. I gotta get paid. You know what I mean? If it ain't making money, they don't want nothing to do with it.
Yeah,
you know.
That's right.
If it don't make money, it don't make sense.
Right. You know.
That's Jake.
Yeah. Con.
Yeah, that's it for me. Our brothers have any lasting statements or precepts before we close up?
You had a scripture for me, bring it out.
Come.
Like you said, you mentioned basically like how the Heavenly Father, the name was Lord Yahweh. Like as Elder Apostle Gabar always mentions, you know, as in this part, I'm going to acknowledge the name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh and His Son Yahweh Shai. Right? This is Isaiah 52 verse 6.
You want me to read it for you?
Khan, yeah, Baba Kusha.
Khan. Yeah, Khan, I got you. Isaiah 52 verse 6, right?
Yep.
And it reads, "Therefore my people shall know my name. Therefore they shall know it." Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
it's like real quick. I just want to mention also, like, you know, like you already have like Russia, Vladimir Putin came out those like Russian icons, basically to show that the people of the Heavenly Father are actually the Negro, right? And so the Heavenly Father is doing all this to let people know that, you know, that the truth is being declared, and His name is going to be declared as well. You know, there's the so-called black man, okay, the so-called dark-skinned man, okay, that he's son of the so-called dark-skinned man. And these people also so-called dark-skinned people, you know, like, of course, you have different shades of brown, but like, you know, ultimately, you know, like the angels, you know, the prophets, they're all dark-skinned people, you know. And the name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, and His Son's name is Yahweh Shai. Yeah,
that's right. And it says, "Therefore my people shall know my name. Therefore they shall know in that day that I am He that doeth speak. Behold, it is I."
That's right. Yahweh Baal Shem Yahweh Shai. And He speaks to His prophets.
That's right.
Right? And there's nobody on the planet. What I mean by that is any other so-called groups, including Putin. He can't say that name. He's not permitted to say that name. He's permitted to say Jesus. Right? Because he's a wicked. But the Lord is going to use him to do a strange act upon America. But anyway, yeah, so that's a beautiful point, brother. Every opportunity that you get, as the Spirit jump on you to mention the Lord's name and praise their name, right? Yahweh Baal Shem Yahweh Shai, man. That's what it's all about, right? And the reputation comes with it, right? Which is the eternal truth.
Just
anyway, that's it.
Just like Egypt, just like in Egypt.
Yeah.
It's all about the Lord's doing all this destruction.
Don't go there. I'll read it out. It's Job 20 and 10. And he brought up Putin. His children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods.
Right.
So our goods, our main good, would be the name, the true image of the Heavenly Father and His Son. Right. So that's trying to please the poor or us, right? Is the Israelites, man. But it's
and slaves.
Too late for that. You know, you knew this all along, and now because it's coming down to the nitty gritty, right? But it says, "Though hands join in hands, the wicked should not go unpunished," man. Right?
And they have literal goods there too.
You as our slaves.
You remember, they have literal goods there. They have the scepters, the cups, the utensils, the you know, all kinds of treasures, man, with different stones and rubies.
Beautiful.
That's all Jake, man. So
I have one quick precept before you close up, Ak.
Bring it out.
Now, do you think? Yeah, do you think?
All right. So this is Zephaniah chapter 1 and 11. How you inhabitants of Maktesh, for all the merchant people are cut down, all they that their silver are cut off. And really, that starts with our people, because that was a mortar place that was known for mining. You had the traders and the silver merchants that lived there, and they trusted in their money because they were rich. But you Jakes, man, your money is not going to save you when destruction comes or calamity hits your door. Right. So ones of you like Diddy and these other celebrities that trust your money and rely on Esau Edom to feed you all the time, hey, you're done. So verse 12, it says,
right.
and it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles and
Mm-hmm.
punish men that are settled on their lees, that say in their heart, the Lord will not do good, neither will he do evil. Wow.
Wow. Didn't yeah.
No, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I think the elder brought up how these guys, I think one of these guys said that, you know, Jacob's trouble is gay, you know, so definitely settle on your leaves, man. Saying some shit.
That's right. So they're in that spirit.
It's like in the NLT, right? It says in verse 11, it says, "Wail in sorrow, all you who live in the market area, for all the merchants and traders will be destroyed."
Wow. Wow.
Got a quick just before you close.
Yeah, go ahead. Bring it out, man. Bring it out. Bring it out.
Second Ezra 9 and 13 is the point, and it reads, "And therefore be thou not curious how the ungodly should be punished, and when but inquire how the righteous should be saved, who the world is, and for who the world is created." Because a lot of people think that Israel was created to rule this world, which he is right now. But at the end, the Israelites, hopefully we are the elect, will be ruling this place.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. And that shows you how evil is going to be, because, you know, the wicked are going to get their judgment. But it's like even Ezra says, "Woe is me, woe is me. Who will deliver me in that day?" You know? So that's just how evil the days are going to be. But at the end of the day, we have to maintain faith, man. Because where else are you going to go? Where else are you going to go? We're just flesh and blood at the end of the day, anyways. There's nothing we can do. You just have to have faith. So, all right. So beautiful, man. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. We're going to close this lesson by giving all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, double honors to the apostles and the elders of great millstone who rule well and have taught us this word in truth and sincerity and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect that's pushing this word, starting with 144,000 in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth, and the rest of the hopeful elect sincerely believe peace and mercy to you and your household. All right, we're gonna say a ball and Kwame
Kwame Sharala.
The hopeful elect.